we see everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is plantain.
Is that plantain?
This is all plantain.
Okay.
And this is not great examples because, of course, this has been trodden upon.
And the drought isn't helping.
But yeah, this plantain and has a very unique look in that it has these long fibrous veins in it, and it's actually a sign that the plant gives us about the drawing qualities that it has. It's extremely astringent, and so it's used for drawing stuff out. You can actually break the cellular walls of the plantain by ripping it like this, and you can actually put it on something like a splinter. Lots of people don't appreciate much. This is prickly ash.
Okay.
And, you know, it has these really giant thorns on it, you know, and so people really hate this plant. And it actually is quite invasive. When it gets into an area, it really spreads.
Like a wall of
However, medicinally, this plant is really important in that they actually, Native Americans called this the toothache tree, because the leaves and the bark are actually quite analgesic. It actually fights pain. When these grapes get the tendrils, you know, they start to have those little soft tendrils that wind around things. You know, you can actually break those off and eat those, and they're extremely sour and full of vitamin C. So it is a great source of vitamin C when you're walking in the woods.
You see a tendril on that branch right behind. I was looking right up here too.
So what would you do? Just chew on it for a while?
Yeah, chew on it. Heads. This is not the type of fiddlehead that you would eat, but most ferns start as fiddleheads. And so this was one thing that I learned when I first was learning about wild foods, is that, you know, I thought fiddleheads were any little fern as long as they were curled up, but really that's not true. Fiddlehead ferns that you can eat and that are actually quite good are usually ostrich ferns. And you can eat other kinds of ferns like bracken ferns, but they're not as good. They're just, you know, but ostrich ferns are actually quite good. And these, you know, are not ostrich ferns because when you look at them, first of all, you know, they have all these little branches. And second of all, the ostrich ferns have this huge groove, and this has a tiny groove, but not like a little, if you feel the berries, you know, the cones can be used for the most common thing that people use them for is making sumac tea or sumac lemonade. And it's actually quite sour like lemons. In fact, I make a concentrated version of sumac lemonade, and I put it in freezer, like ice cube trays. And then I add it to anything that I want, like a lemon juice flavor. You know, if I want it sour like a lemon juice, I put the sumac concentrate in there and it works great. Or you can make lemonade in the middle of winter, you know, just by using a couple of cubes of concentrate.
And you do that with the berries?
With the berries.
I see
Goldenrod is my very favorite treatment for ragweed allergy.
Oh, really?
So what I recommend to people, and this is something that works for the majority of people that have fall allergies, is to make a goldenrod tea. Put it in the refrigerator and take a couple shots a day. And what it does is it dries out your nasal passages and helps to reduce the itchies and the response that you get, your allergy response.
What do you make a tea from, the leaves or the
the
ends?
flower.
From the
like
flower?
That, from that big flower bundle.
Okay.
And then I just dry it, and then I make a tea with about a tablespoon per cup. This is called burdock. And burdock is really, really, really important, not only because it is absolutely free, great food, because the burdock root itself is good to eat. I make pickles out of it every year. I pull the outer rind of the burdock root and chop up the inner part and parboil it so it's fork tender. And then I make pickles out of it. You can either make pickles like the traditional way with vinegar or whatever. You could slice it up thin and do natural fermentation, or you could do like once. So it helps your liver work better, it helps your kidneys work better, it helps your lymphatic system works better, it helps your skin.
So how do you use it in that capacity?
Tincture. Again,
Tincture.
yeah, that's that tincture. But you know,
Tincture
these are all from the burdock root.
Okay.
These are all medicines that came from Native Americans, and they all used dried